for a good chicken soup, you need to have some herbs, fresh herbs, and I like rosemary and sometimes thyme, but today I'm doing it Nonna style with some basil and some parsley. So fresh basil and parsley, you just want to make a little bouquet garni. Just means just tie those herbs together. Makes it easier to fish them out when you're making the soup while the soup is cooking. Okay, so there's our little bouquet, and that goes in a soup pot. So besides that, we want to have some aromatic vegetables. And here we have what everybody has in their kitchen: carrots and celery. So I just take off the stem ends, and then I just roughly chop these up. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. That goes in the pot. And then, of course, celery. Now, a lot of people remove the leaves, but you know what? There's a lot of flavor there. So don't remove the leaves. So again, you just want to chop that up coarsely. So 2 carrots, 2 stalks of celery go into the pot. Whole onion, and you leave the skin on. Yep, you leave the skin on because that's going to give a lot of flavor and also color to the soup. Goes in just like that. Sometimes she added cloves stuck into the onion, but I'm not doing that today. And then, she never did this, but this is what I do now. You know those ends of Parmesan cheese? Don't throw them away. They're great in soup. So when I get to the end of the grating cycle, or the eating part of having Parmigiano Reggiano, I take this and I throw that right in the soup pot because that's all edible too. And that's going to give a nice flavor to the soup as well. Then we want some black peppercorns. So I would say, a handful, 12 to 14. They go in. And now we have what we need, except for the chicken. The polo is next. Once you have them all dried off and cleaned, instead of rinsing them, then you can just put them directly into the pot. So I've got 5 meaty chicken thighs. So they go in. This goes in the garbage. These go in the garbage. My hands are still clean. This goes into the sink to be cleaned later. And now I can add salt. So we give this some salt. And I'm not going to put too much salt in here because this is something that you want to taste after the soup is cooked. Now that's all there is to the ingredients that go in the pot. But now we have to cover this with cold water. And then that's the second part of Nonna's genius when making chicken soup. Because once it comes to a boil, then what you really want to do is lower this heat to barely a simmer. Barely a simmer. Because the flavor is going to be developed slowly. If you just boiled it, you'd be boiling off all the flavor. It all would be evaporating into the air. So we want to start on the boil, and then we want it at a very low simmer.